Hello all, welcome back. So let's continue the data cleaning part in Power BI. So we have already performed 6 cleaning steps on the data. Now let's see what the next steps that we need to clean our data. So we can change the data type of a particular attribute. We can remove the missing values. We can sort the data in either ascending order or descending order. We can replace the null values. We can filter the data and we can see the column distribution of each type of attribute we have. Now let's see. Now this is the data that I have already loaded in my last video. So if I just want to change the data type of my this particular column, let's say price. So where's the data type? This ABC is representing the data type. So ABC is the string data or the text data. So this data type is text data. Now if I want to convert it into numbers, I will just click on this data type. You can see that we have many options like decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentages, date, time, and text. So right now our data type is text. If I want to convert into whole number, so this will give me an error. Why? Because we have rupees associated with the money. So what will I do? I will do the split column. I will split my price column with a delimiter as space, and I will split my column. Now on this price too, I will apply the data type change. Now again this is ABC. Now I can convert this into whole number. If I click on the whole number, it will ask me to change the column type. I will say that replace the current type, and the data type has been changed. Usually Power BI detects the correct data type for the attribute. Sometimes it gives us an error. So we can change the corresponding data type based on this. Similarly, now if I want to convert any data type, I can just click on this here and I can choose the type of the data type I can require, and if that particular values of an attribute support that data type, it will automatically get changed into it. Now let's say I want to replace the missing values. Now I am using the year attribute. I'll click on this drop down box. You can see there we have blank spaces. Blank means null values. That means empty cells. This affects the performance of our dashboard because we don't want to plot empty data on our graphs. So what we will do, we will just uncheck this, and after unchecking it, we will click on OK, and you can see that my missing values or the null values have been replaced for this particular attribute, and corresponding rows have also been eliminated. So this is my filtered rows. Now I just undo this change. If I go back on the drop down box, you can see that if I just scroll down here, you can see that the list is incomplete. So I will ask for the load more data. Now this is the complete data for the year that has been loaded. Now if I scroll down here, you can see that all are the years, and we have a premium member here. In order to sort my data, I need to have my data in the correct format. So what will I do? I will just click on this. I will just exclude this premium member, right? And I will remove the blank spaces and I will click on OK. Now, if I click on sort ascending order, you can see that my year has been changed in the ascending order. 00 first, the 1900, 1922, 1927, 1935, and so on. So this is how we can sort my data in the ascending order. If I want to sort the data in the descending order, I can click on sort descending and the data will be sorted in the descending order. Now, next is how do we replace the null values? So to replace the null values can be either this spaces, the blank spaces, or it could be the zero spaces, the value 0. So if I click on this addition, now this is a blank space, right? So I just remove the sorted rows. I just remove the filtered part of the year we have done so that we have the exact data as we have it in the beginning. Yes. Now I can see that this body type has some blank spaces, or we can call it as a null value. I just have to click on this cell. I have to right click. I have to click on replace values. Now this value to find means we should have to leave it blank, because what we are doing is we are replacing our null values with some value. Let's say I want to replace with any other string, let's say SUV only. So I will just keep it in caps form SUV, and I will click on OK. Then you can see my entire data has been replaced with the SUV. Similarly, if you want to replace any other attribute, let's say year, Okay, so if I'll just sort my year attribute again, I'll just remove the blank spaces first and I remove the premium member, which is the wrong entry in my data. So this entry is also called as handling inconsistent data, because year should have the year only. So this premium member is the inconsistent entry, and this is the part of a data cleaning as well. Now I have removed this inconsistent data, and now I am placing it in the ascending order. Now if I want to replace this missing value or the null values as 0, I will click on the cell, I will right click on it, I will click on replace values, and I can replace it with any other year, let's say 2000, and I will click OK. So my all the zeros entries will be replaced by 2000. So this is how we can replace our null values with the desired data we want. Next, if we want to filter our data, on filter our data, if we, let's say I want the car vehicles who are in the only new condition. So what will I do? I will click on this drop down box of the condition attribute, and I will click see all my values here. If it's showing that the data is incomplete, so I will click on the load more data, and these all values the condition attribute has. So I will click unselect this E. So I will just unselect all, and I will just select the new condition vehicles, and I will click on OK, and you can see that I have 606 rows. To see this change again, let's remove this filter. You can see that now we have 20 columns and more than 999 rows. Now if I'll apply a filter on this condition attribute, and I will unselect all, and I will just select the new condition car vehicles, I will click on OK. You can see I have only 606 rows correspondingly. So this is how I can get my filtered data, right? So this is how we can clean our data. One very important feature of Power BI also is that it gives us the distribution of our particular attributes. So I'll just remove all these filters so that we have a clear picture of what does the distribution means. Now this was under the transform tab or the home tab. Now I will go on to the view tab here. I will click on the column quality, and I will click on the column distribution. You can see that for each attribute we have different number of how many distinct values we have, and are they valid, are there any empty values, or there are any error in the value. So you can see that title has 872 distinct values, right? Then subtitle has 9 months of distinct values. So I'm not considering these attributes. If I'll go on to this price 1, price 2, okay, so we'll go on to this year. So you can see that year has 48 distinct unique values, and in this 7% data is empty. Empty means we have null values in it. That means we have missing data in it. And in order to have a proper analysis and to get the complete insight of a data, it is very much essential to remove these null values or the missing data. So as I just did it before, that I have replaced my zeros with some number or some random year, I can do that so that I don't have any empty data, right? So this is how we can see how many distinct values we have, and whether we have any missing value here, and whether the data is valid or not, and it is displayed for each and every attribute we have here, right? Now this bar plot shows us the distribution, like how the data is distributed. Now this shows that capacity is skewed distribution, and it is called as left skewed data. Left skewed data because we have on the left side we have many entries, and on the right side we have less entries. Similarly, we can have the normal distribution of data, and we can have right skewed data. So if you can see, post URL has even data because it does not make any significance with our data, right? And every other entry is right left skewed data, right? So if you want to see the distribution and understand the distribution of data, like what is the distribution of data and what kind of a distribution we have, please refer to my statistics video in the playlist. So this is how we can just check that we have the how the data is distributed, and with just a click of a checkbox. If I'll uncheck this, my data will be in the normal form. So this is all about how do we make changes in the data to clean our data and transform our data and make it suitable to perform analysis on it. So for more such interesting videos, please subscribe to my channel And do contact me if you feel like having a detailed training in Power BI. Stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.